Hey everybody, welcome to Keeping It Real with Phil. My name is Phil Smith. Probably not a lot of you know me, but been fishing competitively. I didn't say professionally. I've been fishing competitively for about probably 40 years. I think my first tournament was back in 1984. I fished the Skeeter State Bass Tournament, and that's what got me into tournament bass fishing. I had a little SD80 15-foot Skeeter and with a flasher and a LCD, and man, I thought I was something then. But yeah, so I wanted to just share some experiences with y'all and just keeping it real with Phil about bass fishing, about outdoors. I'm an outdoorsman. You know, I don't necessarily consider myself an athlete like some you know, I guess some of the pros out there do, but we're outdoorsmen, and you can excel at the sport if you basically put in the time and you put in the effort and you learn you know, about the sport. You learn about the bass behavior and everything. And so I want to talk about some of the things that maybe I've learned over the years and just share that with you up and coming youngsters out there, and even maybe give some tips to the more experienced older fishermen out there, and just try to you know, get some of the stuff that I've learned over the last 40 years out there to the public. So I live in Texas. I'm a Southeast Texas fisherman, angler, and I fish a lot in the Southeast Texas, Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, the Sabine River, and so I'll talk about a lot of that kind of stuff, fishing around here. And I've been to a lot of places in the country to fish in regionals and championships and BASS back in the day and stuff like that. So just want to introduce my stuff, but before we get started, just want to give a shout out to a couple of sponsors. X-Zone Lures. They really make some fine products. I love their stick baits. I love their finesse style worms. Their tungsten shaky heads and tungsten weights are really awesome. They have the actual weights on the tungsten weights, which is nice. You don't have to guess what it is. And also to Queen's Tackle. They've got some of the best tungsten football head jigs, swim jigs, and other accessories also that's got to do with the you know, different kinds of jigs. So they've got a rattling like football head jig, which is awesome, and so Queen's Tackle. And then also to Kistler Fishing Rods. They have some of the finest fish rods, and they're made here in Texas. So I love supporting local rod company like that. And you know, I get certain discounts with them, and so that's why I want to promote their products. And I'm not looking to make a fishing living. That was back in the day when probably I could have made a fishing living, but nowadays I think it's very tough to make you know, a living as a professional fisherman at the higher level. And you need to qualify for that level, number one, but you need to have the financial backing, number two, and I think you need to have a brand, right? You need to be able to promote the products and stuff like that. You know, the people that sponsor you. So I'm just looking to have fun. You know, I kind of tried to do the professional thing back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I'm talking about the 90s and in the early 2000s. And you know, I had to go to work, so I had to get a real job. But and I enjoy my job. I love doing what I do, and so I work in the chemical industry, and I really enjoy that. So it's not something I want to give up to go travel around and bring my stress up to a new level. But I like to, you know, I do love bass fishing. I'm passionate for it. I love to fish competitively. I didn't say professionally, but competitively. And this year, finally, I've always had a dream to make it to the All-American And I used to fish Operation Bass back in the day in the late 80s and early 90s, and before FLW bought them out. And I used to fish the Redmans when I was a youngster, and always dreamed of going to the All-American. Ever since I seen, Shaw Grigsby and Clark Lindland and them guys go to the All-American, I always dreamed. I know for whatever reason, things have changed over the years, and you've got all these different platforms for fishing, but the Redman Operation Bass, that was a weekend fisherman's, circuit. I remember the tournaments were on Sunday. So you actually had a day of pre-fishing and you fished Sunday, but it was head-to-head competition. So it wasn't really a co-angler boater, it was a boater and a no-boater. So and then sometimes you might have to, if your boater, something happened to his boat, you could use your boat. So it was head-to-head competition, which was the way it was in Redman, it was the way it was in the BAS Invitationals. Back then that was pretty tough. You had half the day to do what you wanted to do in somebody else's boat if you were no boater, and you had half the day obviously if you were the boater. Many times if you were the boater, obviously you were the one out there pre-fishing. You didn't necessarily give up your time. They didn't necessarily want your time because they didn't have no other place to go. So it was kind of like the boater co-angler thing you see today. I'm going to go on a lot of different topics, when I do these sessions, which I don't have a lot of time right now, but working on a run house, also getting ready for, I did make it to the regional this year in 2023, Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma. Actually, that was a blessing that I made it. I got an invitation to go. They take the top 45 anglers. I ended up 48, and I got an invitation to go. I had kind of a tough season with just a lot of things going on, but I wasn't able to pre-fish as much as I'd like to. Like I say, I am a weekend fisherman. I do have a full-time job, so if I go out and do well, it's because I was able to pattern fish. I was able to get on something at that time, and you have to kind of really be dialed in. I don't believe in luck. Luck is preparation meeting opportunity, but I do try in the 2 to 3 days, 4 days before a tournament that I do get to fish, because I have to take vacation in order to fish these tournaments. And thank God, after 20 years with my company, I have, about 5 weeks. So that makes it nice, because since there's, 5 tournaments, really, in the BFLs, that's what I fished, the MLF BFL, which used to be Operation Bass, which used to be the Redman tournament circuit. And I've always wanted to make it to All-American. And thank God this year, I went to Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma, never been there before, got to pre-fish 3 days, and figured out a couple little deals, and knew the time of days I could run these couple little deals, and I ended up coming in 4th and making it to the All-American. So a lifelong dream accomplished, and I'm really excited. So, will I have time to go to Cherokee Lake? That's where it is in Tennessee this year in May to pre-fish. Heck, I don't even know the rules. I don't even know when's dead water, when can you not go or go, but I don't have that much vacation. I am fishing the BFLs again this year. I intend, as long as the Lord's willing and my health is good, I intend on fishing them every year. I may throw in the Toyota series just for fun. Like I said, I'm not trying to make a living at this, but I am trying to promote the sport of bass fishing to a diversified group, right? Youngsters, women, all genders, whatever. I want people to know about fishing and enjoy fishing, and that's really why I'm doing it. And I love to fish competitively. So, people can call it a gambling addiction, or you call it whatever you want, a sport, and you're addicted to it. But I'm an outdoorsman. That's what I love to do. I love to hunt. I love to fish. I don't do as much hunting as I used to, but I still love it when I get to go. But fishing, I try to do every chance I get. And so that's kind of a little introductory video. I just want to talk about who I am, what I do, why I'm making this video, and then kind of go from there. So, you know, All-American qualifier in 2024, going to Cherokee Lake in Tennessee. You know, I do have some knowledge about bass fishing, and I'd like to share that. So, you know, some of my videos are going to be some repeats of stuff you've seen other, maybe, you know, channels do or whatever. But, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things and their own way of describing things. So, you know, I like to watch a lot of different points of views. I like to watch a lot of different videos on the same topics. So maybe just give you, you know, some other ideas on how to improve your fishing, or how to improve your organization of tackle, of, you know, how do you, you know, pick what rods go with what baits. You know, all that's been done by other people, and there's nothing new to what probably I'm going to be talking about and doing, but it may give you a tip here and there that you can, you know, put in your repertoire or log in your book, so of tips to use. So you know, we'll do another video coming up, and I want to do something on tackle management. You know, how I basically, you know, manage my tackle, whether it's soft baits and a plastic bag, or whether it's, you know, jigs and hard boxes. Or whether it's just, you know, what I store my spare, you know, plastics in, or, you know, some of the stuff I've done to kind of create my own tackle storage system. You know, this right here is basically a thin 3700 Plano, and what I've done is I've taken basically fasteners and fastened a small one and a bigger one together. So I guess it's like the 3600 and 3700. I actually put rivets on them, you can see here, to put them together. So, you know, I can put if I want to make a box, and I did this when I started back into fishing competitively as a co-angler. I did this so that I could fish. I fit all of my fishing gear in a bag that usually weighed 80 pounds when I brought it. But you know, I tried a lot of different things to get as much tackle, because I'm the kind of person that I want to be prepared for shallow water, deep water, you know, whatever. I don't really care about asking my boater what he's catching them on, because I'm going to be prepared for whatever we're going to do. And I like to keep things simple. So KISS, keep it simple, stupid. You know, in my fishing, and that goes along with my tackle management. So, you know, we're going to talk a little bit more about stuff like that. But it's a great idea for you co-anglers out there. You know, is you can set a box up for, say, you know, drop shot. This just happened to be some flipping crawls that I like to use at Rayburn in the grass. But in a setup like this, you could put your heavy weights or your slip sinkers, or whether you're going to make this a drop shot box, you can put drop shots and drop shot hooks, and then you can put some smaller worms here, you can put the bigger worms here, and boom, now you have all your drop shot box, you know, your drop shot box you can take with you. And I even still use these systems for my boat, you know, to put in my storage box in my boat, and it keeps everything nice and organized. My boat, so for certain times of year, I know I'm going to be using certain things. Yes, I'm learning new techniques because of forward-facing sonar, because if you want to compete nowadays, you got to use it. And but I've also found that, you know, in tournaments, you're probably going to have to do a little of both, old school, what I call old school fishing, and some forward-facing sonar, and you can even combine the two. So, you know, do I think it's unfair that, you know, people are just winning on forward-facing sonar? Well, actually, I don't think people are just winning on that. I think they're probably winning on a combination of both. Now, obviously, when you watch some of the tournaments and they're up there live streaming on, you know, Lake Champlain or something like that for smallmouth. Yeah, probably the majority of the fish are being caught like that, but you know, not all of them. So but you can make you a box with forward-facing sonar stuff, whatever. But you gotta be versatile. You gotta be able to fish all different kinds of stuff, and you know, so making boxes just for them, for your whatever, you know, technique you're going to be using, whether it's drop shotting or whether it's Ned rigging or whether it's flipping, right? I got one just for creature baits for flipping. I got one for hog crawls. I got one for, heck, I got one for Carolina rig baits, where you can put the weights on top of this little box, and then you can put your the one, say a lizards or brush hogs or whatever. If you're a Carolina rig box, you can put all that in there, and then you can carry that with you in your co-angler tackle bag, or maybe that's just how you like to do it in your boat. Maybe you want to keep the clutter down and you just want to bring so many baits with you. I typically do that, I only bring these boxes. I try to keep the tackle down because it adds weight in your boat, but it also can confuse you. So, I know certain times of year I'm going to catch catch fish a certain way. Then I'll go to these kind of boxes and I'll really tailor it down. And then once I figure out a little deal, then I'll just grab extra packs of whatever, extra packs of finesse worms or Senkos or whatever it might be that I know I'm catching fish on, and now I won't run out, but yet I've still got a variety of other stuff that if things change, I can try to change with it. So, hey, this is Keeping It Real with Phil, and I appreciate your support if you're watching my new channel here. And like I say, we're gonna do a lot of different things. This was just a short little introduction, and I don't know how many times I'm gonna be able to put something out here, but it'll get more and more as we go along. So appreciate y'all being with us. Have a blessed day.